Guess who's black and suited in the house, honey? It's Quentin with the Fashion Doll. Welcome or welcome back to the channel. Yes, honey. I know y'all missed the doll. I have been just taking some time to myself. I'm getting ready for the Cowboy Carter tour. I will be seeing my sister next week and just living life. So that's one reason why you guys have not seen any static videos. I've been giving you more lives. I do think I'm reorganizing my channel, and I think I'm going to suspend the fashion news indefinitely. But enough about that. We are here to talk about um, fashion Super Bowl. This is the biggest fashion moment of the year, honey. It's the Met Gala. The Met Gala, honey. It's the gala, girl. So the girls better been dressed for the gala. This year's Met Gala, the thing was SUPERFINE, Tailoring Black Style. The actual exhibit focused on Black dandyism. Now, and just for the people watching at home, I'm not going to go in depth into this. There are so many other videos on YouTube if you want to find out what Black dandyism is. I'm going to give you a brief little description off of Google. Okay. Black dandyism is a cultural movement and fashion style where Black individuals use clothing and personal style, particularly those associated with the European dandy, as a form of self expression, resistance, assertion of identity in the face of societal limitations. It's a way to challenge stereotypes and reimagine Black identity through fashion. So think of like when we think of the white dandies, the Oscar Wildes, those kind of men, how they dress. Think of that, but with the black dandy, it was definitely more colors. We were more so paying homage to the countries and islands that we were originally from, but still trying to, I guess, assimilate to what the white people that we were enslaved by or formerly enslaved by were doing. Does that make sense? Um, As a black man in America, when I think of black dandyism, I definitely think of the church. I grew up in Kojic Church, and I think what what's more of a black dandy than a black man going to church? And you got so many different aesthetics in seeing black men go to church. So I think I am a great person to judge how the girls did at the Met Gala. Yes, I just want to say I saw this post from on Instagram from the New York Times Style. Let me pull it up really quick. And this grind my gears, and this really made me want to record even more. Hopefully, you made it to the end of the video, or I might put it to the beginning because it made me mad. And I don't even know why they thought this was appropriate to even post because who cares? Um, but New York Times Style posted a little made a post today saying fans disappointed at Vogue's coverage of Indian stars at the Met Gala. And then they put a quote from a TikToker, Jasleen Singh. I understand that a lot of people in the United States and the photographers and the journalists might not know who he is, but that doesn't mean that he's not as significant as the other people. Um, and she was talking about a guy, I don't even want to mispronounce his name. And I know some people don't understand the significance of the Met Gala and the Met exhibit. As an artist and as someone who has visited the Met exhibit, art is very important. a lot of art, paintings, whether it's a painting, a drawing, some fashion. This is how we document history and how we can go back and remember history and how we can make sure we're not repeating the same making the same mistakes and repeating history. So if you don't think that this is important, it definitely is. It was definitely important to have an exhibition about black fashion while we have the Cheeto in office in America. And I also want everyone to take notice. Every time there is something big happening with black people or the black community, people from other communities always have to say, but what about me? And instead of saying, but what about me? How about you take that same energy and create some opportunities for your people? This Met Gala was about celebrating black fashion, specifically black men's fashion. So if you were invited to the table, you should have just been happy to be there. And on that note, okay, now that we got that housekeeping out of the way, oh no, I guess we got a little more housekeeping. Now that I gave y'all that little blurb and intro, please subscribe to my channel if you are new here or if you just haven't subscribed. I talk about fashion, design, plants, home decor, dolls, and more. Okay. Also, I am in A Good American Suit. Good American is by Khloe Kardashian and Emma Gerd. Get into it, honey. I have on my dandy hat and my Takashi Murakami brooch. Thank you. Okay, for my most dressed list from this year's Met Gala, we're going to start off with the Demi Moore, honey. Demi Moore was in Tom Brown. Her dress was literally a black kind of pinstripe men's tie, necktie. It was like a black sequin or beaded column dress. We did get some accentuation at the waist, a little cinch moment, and then the loop of like the necktie piece going around her, like shaping her neckline and shoulders and head. And I love the jewelry too. When I first saw this, I didn't even realize she was a necktie. I thought that was just the silhouette and the shape we were giving because we've been seeing a lot of this. If you watch Drag Race, all the girls for All Stars have these pieces going around, like framing them. And then I looked and I said, bitch, Demi Moore is the necktie. I think for the non black people that were invited, Demi Moore and Jenna Ortega probably won. I think they dressed so appropriately. They were not inappropriate, wearing a do rag a la Amelia Gray. So this was so stunning. She was literally a part of the suiting. So how much more on theme can you be? I like the simple slick back hair. She couldn't really do an updo because it would have hit the top of the tie. So she looks perfect. This is stunning. Definitely a stunning and a best dress nominee from me. Now I'm not going to give y'all a long explanation about everybody. But next we have Miss Zendaya, my Virgo sister. She was in Louis Vuitton. She was in a custom Louis Vuitton. I don't know if this was, it looks like an off-white. It doesn't look like pure white to me. An off-white Louis Vuitton suit. And then she had on a waistcoat and a shirt and a tie with a hat. All of her jewelry was stunning. I love the flare leg. This she was cinched for the gods. If you're gonna go this simple and minimal, the tailoring needs to be impeccable, and it was. She looks absolutely stunning. I also believe Laura Roach and her were paying homage to Bianca Jagger, who had wore a white suit to a Met Gala, I believe, but she had a cane. I think out of all the girls who were in just a regular white suit and with the hat, Zendaya ate the girls up. Definitely a best dressed nominee. I even love the buttons on the suit and the waistcoat. They look like they were had some stones or some kind of bedazzling in them. Stunning, Miss Zendaya. Thank you. We appreciate it. Next on my most dressed list, and the girls might be upset, and that's your business, was Miss Kim Kardashian in Chrome Hearts. She came late. It was worth the wait. She was in this Chrome Hearts. I think it was a crocodile dress. I was trying to figure out, was her dress, was it a top and a skirt, or if it was a dress? I kind of can't tell if it was two pieces or not. Let me see. Oh, I think it was two pieces, almost like a waistcoat and then a skirt. But the waistcoat, or the top or corset, whatever word you want to call it, it still was giving us some elements from suiting. It almost looks like on one side it has a lapel. I like the back out and the strappiness. I love the chain of pearls, the jewelry, the hat. Kim Kardashian normally doesn't bring this kind of drama. I feel like I never see her in a hat or covering up her face or too crazy of a hairstyle. So this was stunning to me. She gets a stunning Best Dressed nominee. Thank you. We needed the drama. This is what we wanted to see. Thank you. Next is Miss Jenna Ortega. She was in custom ball main. This dress, literally, it looks like it's made out of tailor's rulers. I think some of the rulers they left and kind of bent them, and then some of the rulers are kind of cut up into segments, and then it's given like a Paco Rabanne kind of feel. Love the dress. Literally on thing. She was tailoring. Love the jewelry, simple necklace. I love her hair. It was down, but it was going back. I like the swoops for her bangs. Stunning. Ate them up. If again, if you want black, this how you should have came. Not doing too much, but was on theme and being respectful. And if you don't know, a black man is the designer of Balmain, Olivier. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. You know what? Since we're talking about Balmain and Olivier, let's just talk about Olivier because he too is on my best dressed list. I'm just pulling up the photo. He was in Balmain, of course. He's the designer of Balmain. He had on an oversized jacket with a boxy shoulder and a wider leg pant. Love his like half leather gloves. The stars of his look to me were the gold shirt, tie, and pocket square that literally looks like it's gold. I need to do some investigation on how that's made. Stunning. But what really was the piece of resistance was his like vintage sewing machine bag that said Balmain. That was stunning. He was definitely giving modern dandy, and he actually makes the clothes. He is the tailor. Best dressed nominee, honey. Stunning, so on thing. We love it, Olivier. Olivier was looking better than some of the girls he dressed, and I'm here for it. Thank you, thank you. Okay, next is a newer actress who turned it. Um, Miss Monica Barboa, you may know her from the Bob Dylan movie. She was in Dior, representing the Dior new look. Now, this is not necessarily black fashion or black dandyism, but it is tailoring and it is suiting. So I'm okay with it. Um, from watching the Dior series that was on Apple TV, Dior also was making clothes during a time where the Nazis were around, and he was still able to create. And I do think his fashion still had a sense of like opposition, similar to like how the dandies, it's kind of like a symbol of opposition and still showing individuality. So I'm okay with her being in this for Dior, honey. This changed a silhouette for, this was like groundbreaking. This silhouette when it was out. So she looked stunning, best dressed nominee. If the girls didn't know who she was or remember her from her acting, you definitely will remember her from this look. Stunning. Look how cinch she is. There's actually, I want to say, a French singer who wore a recreation of the Dior new look, but she had on the almost disc kind of hat. She was a plus size queen. But I love this. Yes, Miss Monica, stunning. Let me take a sip of my Saint Germain champagne. Ooh, putting my finger out, honey, because I'm a fancy dandy. Next on my best dress list is Miss Cardi B. Cardi B showed up towards the end in this Burberry suit. I can't tell if this suit was if it was velvet or if it was some kind of fur. Regardless, I loved it. I loved the like duster suit coat. Loved the flare pants. She had on these extremely tall shoes that were custom, so she looked tall and had the leg to wear this pantsuit. The breast being out stunning. I love the kind of ruffles around the coat and at the hem of the shirt, and I guess her top as well. And then I also like the cutout in the back. Her hair was stunning. This was giving me black exploitation film. This was giving me Pam Grier as Foxy Brown, and I live. A stunning Miss Cardi B. She is the queen of the Met Gala to me. Again, for a new girl who came and turned it, Miss Angel Reese of the WNBA was also in Tom Brown. And I think this was her breakout moment. This is the most stunning I've ever seen her. Definitely playing off of suiting and the tuxedo. This fabric, I don't know if it's like a satin or a silk. It just makes me think of a tuxedo, like the stripes of a tuxedo. Something about the bust and the cuffs is also reminding me of Mona Patel's look, who is also on my best dress list. Who's next, actually? But I love this from Angel Reese. I love her hair. Love the little bob with the flip. Trim report, all the girls were doing these pin curls and the swoops. I la Betty Boop. Turned it. Thank you, Miss Angel. Next, we're going to go to Miss Mona Patel, who also was in Tom Brown. Something about the structure and the bust and the cups looks very similar to Angel Reese's. I love Mona Patel and this one moment. Okay. Love her coat with the train. Love the sheer back with the spine, with like the spine, metal spine, which is giving me Dr. Octo Octavius from Spider Man. I don't really know what the spine piece, why that was there. But last year she had something, the dress she was wearing by Iris Van Herpen. It had butterflies in the back, but I think it too kind of was focusing on the spine. Does she do? I know she's a philanthropist and she does things with technology. Is this paying homage to some work that she's done with like related to the spine? I want to know what that was about. If someone knows, please tell me in the comments. But she looks stunning. I love her pant. It was kind of giving like a cigarette pant. Love the hat. Love the bag. She looks stunning. I think out of the people Tom Brown dressed, she's definitely one of my favorites. I don't know if she can say my favorite because they all look so great, but she's definitely one of my favorites. Next, we're gonna go to my one of my other girls and one of my other favorites, honey, Miss Doja Cat. Miss Doja Cat was wearing custom Marc Jacobs. I watched the video of her getting ready on Vogue. I may insert a clip. She, which I kind of knew this anyway because I follow her a lot. Her current era is paying homage to different artists from the 80s, like Prince, um, Grace Jones. I feel like I saw a little Liza in there. So she was kind of paying homage to the Zoot Suit. And also like artists like MC Hammer and Prince and again Grace Jones. The hair was giving me Patti LaBelle. I like that it was a romper instead of being a full suit. I like the custom Kiki boot that Mike Jacobs did for her. I like the shimmer and the pinstripe. This was stunning. And I love that she was in a different era from everyone else. Definitely one of my favorites of the evening, honey. Best dressed nominee. Another girl who turned it, and I was kind of surprised to see her. I guess she normally comes to the Met Gala, but I don't know if she normally stands out. But Nicole Scherzinger looked absolutely amazing. She was in Prabo Garong. She looked like a supreme. I like the collar on this dress, or like the halter neck, but it was kind of giving like a lapel from a suit. I love her cape coat moment, paying homage to Andre Leon Talley, who, if you don't know, also was an inspiration for this year's theme for the Met Gala exhibition. But love Nicole Scherzinger. Now the girls, I didn't know we were supposed to be canceling her. I missed that, but she looked stunning. The girls looked great. Her shape was shaping amazing. No notes. Um, Next is Miss Kerry Washington. Well, I saw her very early on. Loved her look. She was in custom Simkai. Simkai. I think that was her date who she was walking around with. This gave me that it was paying homage to the Dior, the new look, but like updated. I love the sheer or like mesh skirt. You can kind of see a hint of the panty. I love the that it doesn't even look, or maybe it zips. I can't tell. But the neckline in the front, how it just dips down and it's really low. Love that. I love the backless moment and her backless instead of her necklace. Love the hair, love the hat. Carrie looks stunning. I loved her glove, the sheer glove, hinting at the skirt, the shoe. This is one of the best looks I've ever seen Kerry Washington, and I was very impressed. Stunning. Next is my girl, Miss Janelle Monáe. Now, Janelle Monáe really turned it, but I knew she would turn it. She is the soup girl. She is the dandy. So this was like the thing for her to kill. So her look was in collaboration with Tom Brown and Paul Tazwell of Wicked costume fame. He did the costumes for Wicked. She first came out in a coat that was giving like a trompe moment. So it looked like, I guess it was like a skirt dress, oh, excuse me, like a suit dress was the trompe on the coat with also with a bag. And then one side was like pinstripe, the other side was solid. And then when she took it off, she had on a stunning skirt suit, which was beautiful, with a Tom Brown bag. Also loved her top hat and her monocle. She was kind of paying homage to Clockwork Orange, also paying homage to the people in her family and service people, as she's always done in her black and white suits. But this was lovely. I'm glad she gave us some color and didn't just have on black and white. You may not, I'm going to see if I can find a photo. I even enjoyed her hair. She had cornrows in her hair, but they put some white piping in the cornrows, so it still was giving like the pinstripe from her look. I loved it. I'm very much a full look person. If you're on my most dressed list, you gave a full look, honey, from head to toe.
Everything.
Thank you, and we appreciate it. Okay, we're like halfway through my list. Stunning. Next is Laura Harrier in Gap Studio by Zach Posen. Which I love this. When I do my trim report, I'm going to talk about Gap quite a bit and also suits. So that's one reason why I'm waiting to put it out because I wanted to talk about the Met Gala. But she's in Zach Posen. Zach Posen said he was looking at pictures from Laura Harrier's family, and he wanted to pay homage to her family and how the men would be dressed. But he wanted to make a pant that had the same drama that his dresses have. And I think he achieved that. The pants and the top under her waistcoat, love the drama. So stunning. I don't even mind her hair being down. This is giving me a little antebellum fashion, but in a good way. Stunning. She could have been in the lemonade visuals with this one. I love this. Thank you for bringing Zach Posen back to the Met Gala. Next is a designer and a man who really showed up and showed out. Willie Chavaria, who is a designer, and he dressed Maluma. I'm not sure if he dressed any other men. He looks absolutely stunning. He's in like a pink silk zoot suit. I love this dramatic, exaggerated lapel. Love the red flower he's holding. Love the black hat with the black shirt and the black shoe. And he has a pop of color with the green tie. Love all the jewelry, um, like the belt chain. He looks amazing. I love everything. I love his glasses, his facial hair. He's giving me, the men who will wear the zoot suits, but mixed with a little Latino culture as well. Stunning. Thank you, Willie. Willie did what the black man. He did better than a lot of the black men to me. Thank you. Somebody had to do what needed to be done, honey. Okay, next is Miss Tessa Thompson, who always makes me proud as well. She also was in Proper Garong. Proper Garong had some of my favorite looks of the night as well. Um, I love this dress. Don't give me the lion off the actual time period, but it's giving me Pilgrim. It's giving me the Gilded Age. It's giving We Came Over on the Santa Maria. I love the top hat. I love the structure under it, like the hip moment. Definitely giving tailoring, giving suiting. Love the ruffles on the cuffs of the sleeves. I love her shoe. And peep her fan that has Andre Leon Talley on it. Stunning. She always shows up and shows out. Even her hair is stunning and on thing. Thank you, Miss Tessa Thompson. Now, the girls may not agree with me with my next choice, but that's fine. That's why I'm doing the video and you're not. And I'm also black. And I think I would be considered a black dandy, honey. I'm always dressed, even if I'm running to the grocery store. Let me find my girl. Okay, next is Miss CC Sierra. Sierra was in Laquan Smith, who also made some of my favorite looks of the evening. She's in this black Laquan Smith gown. It's giving black silk. And but in between the black panels, she has like, I don't know if they were some kind of beading. And I know that I think it was beading in India. I heard how many hours it took, but I forgot. Love the dress. This is a dress, but it's still tailored and it's still giving me some suiting elements. Even under the beading at the top, it almost looks like you can see kind of like a copper bond moment under it. I love her short, slick back hair and the blonde. Whoever did her makeup ate. I love her train. And for the couples, her and Russell Wilson look stunning. Now, he is a little boring in the black, but he still looks stunning. I love Sierra's shoe. Stunning. No notes. I have nothing to say. She ate. Ate now. Love the earrings, everything. Next, since we're on the couples, I want to talk about D. Oclepa Hilfiger, who is Tommy Hilfiger's wife. They both look stunning together. Again, Tommy Hilfiger was a little more simple. I think he's in navy blue and white. And of course, he made it, but love this. But the wife really, oh my God, love this blazer. It's almost like a suit jacket dress, but then it has a train. The train is lined in that like liquid fabric that's been so popular lately. Love the pinstripe. Love her Tommy Hilfiger bag. Love the tie. Love this like ombre moment with the stones, the hat. I mean, stunning. And I think, again, they are white people at an event celebrating black fashion. I think they did just enough. Something about her like Panther shoe is giving me a little Balenciaga moment. Stunning. Another stunning couple. Thank you, Tommy Hilfiger. And y'all gonna stop talking about Tommy Hilfiger. Are we supposed to like him? Tommy Hilfiger never said he didn't want black people to wear his clothes. That's not what that man said.
Been on the air. Have you ever been on the show before today?
Unfortunately not.
And when you first heard it, Tommy, what did you think?
I didn't believe it. I thought it was crazy. And friends of mine said they'd heard the rumor. I said, it's crazy. There's no, that can't be. I was never on the show. I would never say that.
Yeah.
And all my friends and family who know me and people who work with me and people who have grown up with me said that's crazy.
Well, did you, as if Tommy, and it is true, has never been here before today, then I could never have possibly asked him to leave the set. So that is what I call the category of a BFL, a big fat lie. That's a big fat lie. That never happened.
Anything else. Forget the money that it has cost me. Forget anything else.
Because has it cost you money?
It's cost me money, but it's cost me a heartache.
Yeah.
You know, I have 4 children. My children would come home from school and say, Daddy, I go to school with a Jewish boy who says you don't like him.
Yeah.
And no, it's not true.
Well,
and they're out telling kids, no, it's not true. No, Tommy's not that way, or my dad's not that way. So that has really hurt. It's really hurt my heart, and it has also been contrary to what my business motive was in the beginning. I wanted to sell a lot of clothes to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So chill. Thank you. Okay. Next is Miss Whitney Peak. You may know her from Gossip Girl, the reboot that was on Max. She was in Chanel, custom Chanel. I think this was a recreation from a look from the spring, summer 25 show, but they made the skirt long with the split. I love that it's trimmed in this red, like a red Rogaine or silk, whatever the trimming is in. We love Tui Chanel. Definitely on theme. Correct era. It is suiting, but when Coco Chanel wanted suiting to be comfortable for the women, love the hat, love her pussy bow blouse. The piece of resistance for me was the cigarette nail, bitch. Hey, thank you, Miss Whitney P. Love the beauty. And again, trend report were pink curls. Honey, the girls loved a little Superman swoop. That's what I'm going to call it. Next is Miss Jodie Turner-Smith. She was giving me the Wild Wild West. She looked stunning. She was in Burberry as well. This like Merlot, a wine color that was also very popular on the red carpet for the evening and a trending color for the year. You will be hearing this color come up again once I put out my trend report. Love her top hat. I love that her coat is still giving like a dress moment. She's giving us like the pingays on the hips, but still has on a nasty pant. Love the shoe. Love the shirt under the jacket with the exaggerated collar. She could have gave us some makeup that just gave us some contrast because she does look like all one color. But other than that, she looks absolutely stunning. Another one of my absolute favorites for the night, even though this is my most dressed, I'm still gonna tell y'all who was my favorite, or maybe top 3. Was Miss Aman Haman in custom Magda Bittram. This white jumpsuit, I love this. The shoe, I can't tell, but the shoe almost looks like a tabby. I love her polka dot tie. I love her little, almost like pill cap with the feathers coming off of it. And then the cane was a piece of resistance, honey. She was working this cane. I think she's a model. She definitely had the height for this. She was cinched for the gods. I love the volume of the pants, but we get a little taper. This is a motherfucking pant, bitch. The lapel, ooh, stunning. The women ate the men up at this Met Gala, and it was about black men's fashion. And the women ate y'all ass up. It didn't even make any sense, just ridiculous. Do better. Next is Jordan Ross. I don't know Jordan Ross pronouns. I'm just going to call them they because they're giving me a they tease. They also were in Laquan Smith. a Laquan Smith silk suit with a flare leg pant. I think they had on some platform shoes because they look extremely tall. It looks like they had on kind of like a copper bond corset kind of moment or like a stay. But then we had some like like a beaded top or like a drape beaded top under the little bolero jacket, and then it kind of came up with a high neck, and then a top hat that was made out of top hats, which I would love to know the story behind this hat. They were also kind of giving me ringmaster or ringleader at the circus, but in the best way. Stunning. I will wear this. I actually want this suit. They could have steamed their suit a little more before they came on the red carpet, but I know it was raining. I'm gonna let them be. Stunning. Love the hat. Very much giving me dandy. Now, who really gooped me and who has been gooping me lately? She been showing out at all the events this year so far. It's Miss Whoopi Goldberg, honey. Miss Whoopi Goldberg was also in Tom Brown, looking stunning, honey. Let me pull her up. I do have one critique for Miss Whoopi, just one, and it's minor. Miss Whoopi is in a black, I guess we could say a black column gown, button. I mean, from top to bottom, it almost looks like a tuxedo gown, but then over the dress, we have like a white coat that's off the shoulders, giving us a little volume. I love the wingtip shoe. I love the tie with the shirt under it. Love the top hat. My only critique, or the only thing I wanted Whoopi to do, was either put on some of her glasses, but like Whoopi always has on a nice pair of glasses, or she could have gave us some makeup. We needed some eye makeup with this. But other than that, stunning. I'm so impressed with Whoopi lately. Okay, now I told y'all the men were very boring to me. I was not impressed with a lot of the men. Yeah, I might notice it's not a lot of men on my best dress list, and that was on purpose. This guy looks stunning. I think his name is Cobby Lane. I don't even know him. I think he's from social media. He was in Boss, Hugo Boss. Stunning. Love the gray suit. I love the pinstripe. I love the wingtip. I like the coat being like off of his shoulder, giving a little drama, giving me a little Andre Leon tally. I like the hat. I love all of these watches on the waistcoat. That's what really did it for me. And I also like that he has on a white tie with his white shirt because it's not distracting. And I think it's letting us know that the star of this look are the watches. Stunning. He looks stunning. And I like this. I like these colors on his beautiful dark brown skin. Stunning, Mr. KB. I hope he's invited back next year. Another gentleman. Oh, you know what? We're gonna finish up with some men. Another man who I was actually impressed. I had to keep looking at it and think about it, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna put him on the most stressed list. Let me take a sip. Is Lakeith Stanfield. Lakeith Stanfield was in Ferragamo, and I believe currently the designer of Ferragamo is a black man. I love this. He's in like a cream overcoat that goes down to the floor. I don't know if it's like if it has like the shawl around it or like the scarf moment that's hanging on the floor, or if that's attached to the coat. But love that. Love the red flower. I like the white bow tie. I like the hat. Now the pants are a little baggy, and the crotch is real low. Excuse me. And at first I didn't like that. I was conflicted, but then I'm fine with it because I think he's more so paying homage to some styles and cuts of the past. So it's giving me a little slouch and bagginess from the past, but with a little of today, if that makes sense. And even though this is simple, I like this. It still gave drama. Thank you, Lakeith Stanfield. And last but not least, you know it's your girl. I know it ain't. I know it ain't. Kiki Palmer, honey. Kiki Palmer is going to close out my list. She was in Custom Vera Wang. I might insert a clip from the video. But she has a video on Vogue of her getting ready. Her look was inspired. She said Vera Wang asked her, girl, what you want to do? Because you the black person. And Kiki told her she wanted to be inspired or something inspired by Dorothy Dandridge. So I think from watching the video, they kind of combined some looks of Dorothy in suiting and of her in dresses. So that's why we kind of have like this dress, but with the cigarette pan under it. I love the lapel for like the halter moment. Love her little hair fascinator. I even love her hair. Her hair was giving old school 90s, 2000s tees with the half braided and then half going down in the back. So I love that she was paying homage to black style in different eras. I might do some more Met Gala videos, and if I do, I definitely want to talk about the women who are paying homage to women from back in the day, but not doing any of their suiting looks. Because a lot of women pay homage to Josephine Baker, but not Josephine Baker in a suit. And she wore suits. She was a queer woman, and she would be in suits. If you're familiar with Marlena Dietrich, she definitely had some looks similar to that. So I love that Kiki did pay homage to actual suiting and men's wear. But yes, Kiki looks stunning. I love her hair. They even dye her eyebrows to match. I love the commitment. And as a Virgo and a girl who would do all of those things, I live. Okay. I'm getting ready for the Beyonce concert, which I will be giving y'all a video on how I got my outfit together. But I love the dedication for a look. Okay, but that concludes my must dress list. I'm going to tell y'all my top three. My top three looks from the whole evening. Oh, wait, I missed somebody. Well, we can end on him. Also, I wanted to talk about Jeremy O. Harris. I'm not really familiar with him, but he was in Balmain. He literally looked like one of the dandies. His look was giving some of the vintage illustrations that you could find of the dandies, or some of those, like a Frederick Douglass. There's another man I think they made a movie on. He definitely was referencing like very specific and very historical. But I still love the like flare pant and the heel, and I love his little ring with the like Fabergé egg. Even the hair. This was stunning. Okay, so my top three of the evening. I don't want y'all to be mad at me. Okay, my top three. I'm going to say Doja Cat. I'm going to say I'm going to say Copy Lane. That was one of my favorites from the men. And then I'm going to say Aman Haman. And it's so funny because I feel like I picked a lot of, not a lot, but not the most dramatic looks. But, it was about Superfine and tailoring black style. So the tailoring definitely needed to be there. And a sloppy look just wasn't going to be my favorite. Honorable mentions, I didn't want to say non-black people were my favorite, but for non-black people, my favorites were Demi Moore, hands down, Jenna Ortega, hands down, and Willie Chavaria, hands down. Ate y'all up. Ooh, how dreadful. You know what? I'm gonna take. I'm gonna switch my top three from the black people. My top three are gonna be Janelle Monáe, Doja Cat, and then Copy Lane. That's my top three looks from the evening. Please subscribe to my channel, honey. If you would like to see some more Met Gala coverage, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of my review um, in the comments. Please share this with your friends. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. Be on the lookout for my style report. Be on the lookout for May's Cosmetic Corner. And then RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars starts this Friday. So be on the lookout for my live reviewing that. But thank you all for watching. Anna Wintour and Vogue, please invite me to the Met Gala last year. I will be dressed. I'm dressed sitting in my house, honey. And she's tailored. Oh, she's a dandy. Look at me matching my background. You may have noticed I switched some things around with the background. In the background. But have a lovely evening. I will see you all soon from a black dandy, darling. Toodles.